Hey, you an athlete and you heard this phrase, you need to get faster, but you don't really know where to begin. Don't worry, this video for you. Look, I'm an ex-athlete myself. I still get busy, but now I train athletes, football players, soccer players, track runners, basketball players on how to get faster. So what I want to do in this video is I want to give you 3 drills that I use with all my clients to help you work on your speed. So first things first is understanding how to run. So in this first clip, it may look fast and feel fast, but it's actually just quick. All right, in this clip, it may look slow or feel slow, but it's actually fast. So let me break down why. In that first clip, what a lot of young runners do is they try to run hard, they try to run fast, and they move their feet real fast, which is okay. But when you do that, you tense up your body and you have a short stride. You just got these short, choppy steps where you're not really gaining ground, you're not really going anywhere. All right. The second clip, where you got the nice stride length, that's where you want to be. All right, that's the proper running form. All right, how do we do that? Force equals speed. That's what I tell all my clients. First off, force equals speed. So what I mean by force equals speed is the force that you generate into the ground to create your next step or stride is what's going to develop your speed. So think about a bicycle. Everybody knows how to ride a bike. When you ride a bike, the bike is going forward by the pedals going down, not the pedals coming up. So young runners, when they first get started, they think if they just move their legs real fast, that's what's actually going to get them to move. But it's not like that. It's just like that bicycle. It's your foot coming down into the ground that's going to get your body to move. So how do we create force? Hip explosion. I know you probably heard this growing up, but don't really quite know what it means. All right, so hip explosion is exactly what it sounds like. You're exploding your hip forward. All right, so if you look, this is an athletic position. In the athletic position, this is what all athletes want to be the most explosive. All right, from this athletic position, the hip is hinged. All right, so this is called a hip hinge. So from here, you push your foot through the ground to explode your hip forward. All right, hip hinge, hip forward. All right, so we exploding our hip forward to be able to explode up and push through the ground. All right, so you jump, you can get full extension. All right, so same thing when you run. That hip is hinged as his knees is up in the air. As we come down into the ground, create that force, that hip comes forward, and then we get that step or that stride that we want to get. All right, so that's basically how you create force to run, jump, hit, do anything in your athletic sport. All right, hip explosion, creating force. So from now on, everything you do has got to pertain to creating force. So let me get to the drills. The first drill we got is banded squat jumps or resistant squat jumps. What you want to do, you want to grab a resistant band and set it into a squat rack. All right, you want to set it into the squat rack just like you would if you would back squat. All right, set the band at chest level, right below your chest, so you can get in a good athletic position underneath the band. So as it's set, you want to get underneath the band just like you would a barbell when you back squat. All right, hands on the band, and from this motion in this athletic position, we just jumping up and down. All right, the band is going to resist you from jumping up, so that's what's going to help you create more force. As you come straight down, you want to get straight up. All right, don't spend a lot of time on the ground. You just want to rapid fire these jumps. Key focus is the balls of your feet. All right, the weight should be on the balls of your feet, and you exploding up and down. Don't let your heels hit. You do 3 sets of 20, and you already got faster. All right, so drill number 2, we got med ball jumps. Med ball jumps is the same concept as the resistant squat jumps. All right, we want to be able to create force. So we're using a medicine ball to help gravity pull us to the ground. So we got to be able to create more force to jump up in the air. So what you want to do, you want to get a medicine ball. I like from that 8 to 14 pound range. So if you're a beginner, you might want to start lower. And if you feel like you could do more, go up. Don't go too heavy because you don't want to get no back injury by lifting too much. All right. So we got the medicine ball in your hands with your arms locked, feet shoulder width apart. You got a good squat position just like you would if you was to deadlift. And from there, we're just jumping up. All right, as you jump in the air, gravity's going to bring you back down. As soon as you land, you tap the ground with the ball, keeping your arms locked, and we back up in the air. You do these 3 sets of 10 or 3 sets of 12, and you just got faster. So drill number 3, it's a 2-for-1 right here. We got depth drop to box jump. All right, with this drill, we're training the body how to get off the ground as quick as possible to explode up onto a box. And just like when we run, we don't want to spend too much time on the ground. We want to create that force into the ground as quick as we can to create that stride. All right, so what you want to do, you want to get a lower box to step off of, And then you're gonna get a bigger box that you know you could jump on, all right? Don't get a box that's too high, don't get a box that's too small either. So what you wanna do here is you wanna place the boxes about a yard apart. So you step on a small box. What we're doing is we're dropping down onto the ground and we're exploding up onto the bigger box, all right? Again, the key thing to focus on is we're getting off the ground as quick as possible. Balls of your feet, do not let your heels touch the ground. As soon as your foot lands on the ground, we're exploding up on the box. All right, stepping down, jumping up. You do these 3 sets of 10, again, you just got faster. So like I said, this is a 2 for 1. So what we did on that depth drop the box jump, we used 2 feet. You can also go single foot. So whatever foot you want to go with, you want to keep that on the ground at all times. So we start with our right foot, we got our right foot on the box, we stepping down on our right foot, and we're jumping up onto the box with our right foot. All right, do not let your other foot hit the ground. Same concept as the other one. Get off the ground as quick as possible and explode up. And there you go, my 3 drills that's going to help you work on your speed. The key, like I said, is just understanding how to create speed. Force equals speed. So if you could create your own drills that's going to help you develop more force into the ground, you're going to help yourself create more speed. I hope this helped you. Remember, be better than they say. Until next time, let's get it.